is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Neha Bhardwaj Alter and this is Game On. This is where you get all the latest from the world of sports, and we've got to begin with cricket. The Indian team has arrived in Adelaide for the pink ball test that starts on the 6th of December. India's practice match against an Australian Prime Minister's 11, which was played as a day-night fixture after only a day's play was possible, threw up a few questions for Team India. The biggest of which is, where will skipper Rohit Sharma bat? Rohit linked up with the squad during the Perth Test match, and after a few net sessions, yesterday's innings in Canberra was his first and only in a live match before the second test in Adelaide. Now, India opened with Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul. Shubman Gill returned from injury and scored a 50 at one down, and Rohit batted at number 4. He made 3 runs off 11 balls before he edged a ball from a 19-year-old seamer Charlie Anderson to first slip. While India won the practice match by 5 wickets, plenty are now wondering how much to read into Rohit's batting demotion to number 4. Since he was made to open in 2019 as the World Test Championship came into existence, Rohit has only batted at the top of the order. In the last 5 years, batting only as an opener, Rohit has scored over 2,600 runs at an average of 44, including 9 centuries and 5 half centuries. His move up the order after spending 27 test matches batting at various positions in the middle order saw India win many home series as well as a few famous wins in England. But this year, Rohit's form has dipped. He managed 2 centuries during India's 4-1 win over England at home. But in 5 test matches against Bangladesh and New Zealand, he made just 133 runs at an average of 13. Rohit has only opened twice in Australia in the 2021 series for scores of 26, 52, 44 and 7. His recent struggles against seam at home, however, do not cut the image of an opener looking capable of facing the new ball in challenging Australian conditions, which has led many to speculate that he should drop down the batting order. Rahul did the job very well in Rohit's absence in Perth, and now that the team management sent him up during the tour match in Canberra, it does indicate that Rahul will be preferred in that same role for the Adelaide Test. Year's 50 appears to have convinced India of his availability, and with Virat Kohli scoring his 30th Test century last week from number 4, the only option for Rohit, should he not open, is number 5. This would give Rishabh Pant the cushion of batting 1 spot lower on top of his wicket-keeping role, and there is the promise of Rohit being a threat once the new ball has been worn down. But are India and the man himself, at the age of 37, willing to rejig the lineup? Well, this promises to be one of the big talking points over the next 4 days. Moving on, Jasprit Bumrah may have tormented Australia's batsmen in Perth in bouncy conditions, but Travis Head said they are looking forward to another round against the Indian spearhead, who he believes will be regarded as one of the greatest fast bowlers in history. Bumrah took 8 wickets to lead the tourists to a resounding 295-run win in the series opener in Perth, and he could prove even more of a handful with the pink ball in the day-night test starting in Adelaide Oval on Friday. But Head, who top scored for Australia with 89 in the second innings in Perth before nicking off to Bumrah, is not worried. He said his batting teammates were working on different plans to handle the quick. He said, and I quote, "Jasprit will go down as probably one of the greatest fast bowlers to play the game. I think we're finding that at the moment, how challenging he can be, and it is nice to play against that. It's going to be nice to go back and look at your career and go tell the grandkids that you faced him." So not a bad series of playing with him. Hopefully I'll face a few more times, but he is as being challenging. Okay. Now, Travis had also dismissed speculations of a rift in the Australian dressing room, especially after Josh Hazlewood's comment in the media during the Perth Test. Head has said there's no bad blood between the players. He said, and I quote, "It can be put to bed. We hold high expectations for both sides, batting and bowling, and it is a very individualized sport. So batters, we want to hold our own. We know how good our bowlers have been for us in the past, and they've got us out of trouble a lot. As a batting group, we know that if we get enough runs on the board, we put ourselves in a great position. As a batter myself, I try to take a whole lot of pride in what I do, and knowing that if I can set it up for the big boys, that they can knock it down for us. So definitely no divide in the team." Now, after India's win in the warm-up game, Mohammad Siraj shared his and the team's experience with the pink ball, which of course will be crucial for the second test in Adelaide. It's going to be a day-night affair. Siraj also talked about his lack of wickets for him in the past 6 months and the turnaround in the Perth Test, where he accounted for 5 Aussie batters across 2 innings.
मेरा ये पहला मैच था पिंक बॉल से, क्योंकि लास्ट ईयर भी था, मैं बस मैच नहीं खेला था, बट यहाँ पर ज्यादा पिंक बॉल में इतना स्विंग देखने को नहीं मिला है, और जितना आप हिट करेंगे तो सीम मूवमेंट का ज्यादा देखने को मिला है। तो यहाँ पर हम लोग का यही प्लान था कि जो हम लोग के टिक बॉक्स थे हम लोग के कंसिस्टेंट एक जगह डालने के लिए, और देख रहे थे स्विंग हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा। जो हम लोग ने सोचा था वो एग्जीक्यूट किए और बहुत अच्छा लगा प्रैक्टिस। मेरा बॉलिंग तो बहुत ही अच्छी हो रही थी लास्ट 6-7 महीने से, बट विकेट नहीं मिल रहे थे। एज ए ह्यूमन बीइंग यही सोचता है कि अरे विकेट क्यों नहीं मिल रही है, विकेट क्यों नहीं मिल रही है। वो ज्यादा ट्राई करने के चक्कर में अपना लाइन और लेंथ वहां पर थोड़ा मिस हो जा रहा था मेरे से। तो वही चीज मैंने घर पे बैठ के सोचा कि क्यों मेरे साथ ऐसा हो रहा। तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि विकेट नहीं मिली कोई बात नहीं, बट अपन जितना हो सके अपनी बॉलिंग एंजॉय करेंगे। मैं एज ए पर्सन मैं ये हूं कि मैं जितना बॉलिंग एंजॉय करूंगा मुझे उतने विकेट मिलेंगे। तो वो थोड़े मैचेस में वो मेरे साथ मिस हो गए थे कि मैं अपनी बॉलिंग एंजॉय नहीं कर रहा था। अभी वही मैं बॉलिंग एंजॉय कर रहा हूँ और विकेट भी मेरे साथ आ रहे, तो वो।
Okay, with that, time for us to slip into a short break. On the other side, Liverpool have been unstoppable. They beat Manchester City, that and more from the world of football on the other side. So stay with us.
न्यूज़ 9 ग्लोबल समिट में आए सभी साथियों को मेरा नमस्कार। मुझे इस बात की भी खुशी है कि न्यूज़ 9 इंग्लिश न्यूज़ चैनल भी लॉन्च किया जा रहा है।
Special congratulations to TV9. Now you are truly becoming global.
And therefore I must congratulate Varun Das ji. He has, in his own way, started an epoch-making trend.
The News 9 Global Summit is the latest example to demonstrate that India and Baden-Württemberg are getting closer in many different respects.
I compliment Mr. Jubali, Mr. Varun Das and Mr. Gakpo conceptualizing and organizing this grand platform.
And I really want to thank TV9 Group, and it's a harbinger of many things to come.
Welcome back. Liverpool overawed arch rivals Manchester City in a 2-0 win yesterday with goals from COdy, Gakpo and Mohammad Salah to take a 9-point lead at the top of the Premier League and extend their opponent's slump to 7 games without a win. The result meant that City had their first 4-game losing streak in the Premier League since 2008 and pushed Pep Guardiola's struggling side down to an unfamiliar 5th in the table, 11 points behind their greatest rivals of recent years. Buoyed by a midweek Champions League win over Real Madrid, Liverpool came out flying and could have wrapped the game up by halftime with a hatful of chances, including 2 thundering Virgil van Dijk headers, one of which hit the woodwork. The first goal came in the 12th minute after a sumptuous long pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold to Salah on the right wing. His low cross eluded Manchester City goalkeeper Stefan Ortega for Gakpo to nudge the ball in at the back post. Salah scored Liverpool's second with a 78-minute penalty after his strike partner Luis Diaz was brought down by Ortega in the box, sending the Anfield crowd into delirium. City's defeat has seen them drop to 5th, below Brighton and Hove Albion. According to Opta supercomputer analysis, Liverpool have an 85.1% chance of going on to lift the title, making them now overwhelming favourites, while City's chances have slumped to 4.4%.
It's always nice to come out in both situations as a winner, but the reason why these teams won so many things is that they weren't able to win once or twice. They were able to win every single 3 days. So we're really happy with these 2 wins, but we also understand if we want to achieve more than this, then winning once or twice is, even against these big teams, is not enough to win anything in the end of the season. But let's not get carried away by 1 or 2 wins. It's all about consistency till the end of the season, keeping the players fit, keeping them playing with this much energy. And like you probably saw today, I only had 5 defenders available, so to win something in the end, that's such a long way to go and so many challenges you have to take. But it's good that we are capable of winning against these teams in our own style.
All we can do is accept it, congratulate them and learn from them. But at the same time, still we are in November. We are not at the end of the season. Like many things, the decisions can be made more drastically. So I'm sitting here still defending what we defend, because this play as a group of players gave me absolutely everything. My best, one of probably the best years of my life as a manager. I live here in Manchester, but we had to find a solution. I had to find the solution or the reason why with the players to try to win games.
And Guardiola's side have now lost 6 and drawn 1 of their last 7 matches, and many see the latest defeat as the end of their title hopes this season, and the Anfield crowd couldn't help rubbing it in the coach's face. Pep Guardiola held up 6 fingers to the Liverpool fans at Anfield in retaliation to them chanting that he was going to get sacked soon after Manchester City lost to their rivals 2-0 in the Premier League. Listen into what he had to say in the post-match press conference about the issue.
Listen, I'm so proud for my 6 Premier Leagues against that team in the previous teams. I'm so sorry. I didn't expect Anfield with 0-2 start to chant be sacked. Maybe I deserve to be sacked, honestly. With the results, maybe I'm still in job because we won 6 Premier Leagues, a lot of titles. Otherwise, the hierarchy maybe we think, oh, this doesn't work. Yeah. But I didn't expect with 0-2 start to sing. We should sing maybe with 0-1 when the game was a little bit tighter, or maybe last season or the previous season. But maybe in Brighton they did it, so I understand. But Anfield, I didn't expect that. But it's fine. So it's what it is. At the end, it's part of the game. When you win, you laugh. When you lose, they laugh. I'm incredibly honest with myself, and when I would think I cannot do it, we talk with the club. But I feel that I want to do it, and it's part of the life. Is not in all departments in life. No sport and everything. Everything is not perfect. But, you know, when start the season, I said, City, of course, won the 5th and the rest, they have to fight for the Champions League. I said, oh my God. So that is not about it. It looks like what we have done in the past is easy. I know Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool we beat, or Arsenal in the last seasons, how strong they are. But now we are not as strong as we were. That is a reality for many circumstances. Not just Rodri, that of course Rodri is vital for us, but not just him, for many reasons. And the best way to go through for that, me myself, is accept the reality.
So even as Manchester City struggle, it seems like it is, in fact, the start of a new era for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford and Joshua Zirkzee back 2 goals apiece as Manchester United thumped Everton 4-0 on Sunday in new manager Ruben Amorim's first Premier League match at Old Trafford. United's biggest victory margin in a league game since a 5-1 win over Leeds United in 2021 lifted them 3 spots to 9th in the table after 13 games. Rashford, he put United ahead in the 34th minute when he darted in to fire home Bruno Fernandes's corner with a side-footed volley that sailed in off the outstretched foot of the Everton defender Jared Branthwaite. The goal ignited Amorim's side, who dominated the rest of the match, and Zirkzee doubled the lead in the 41st minute when Ahmad Diallo intercepted Jordan Pickford's goal kick, and the Dutch forward fired home Fernandez's cross from close range. Rashford, who has netted 3 goals in 3 games since Amorim took charge, completed his brace 20 seconds after halftime when he ran on to a through ball from Ahmad, who caused Everton problems all afternoon. The Ivory Coast forward stripped the ball off James Tarkowski in the 64th minute and drove forward before feeding Xerxes to slot in his second. Delighted United fans sang Amorim's name all afternoon. The Portuguese, who barely cracked a smile throughout the game, is unbeaten in 3 matches since taking charge, including a 1-1 draw at Ipswich Town and a 3-2 result in Europa League over Boda Glimt. United are unbeaten now in 7 games across all competitions since Erik ten Hag was sacked as manager on 28th of October. And this is a bit of disturbing news. Fiorentina midfielder Eduardo Bove, he was taken off the pitch in an ambulance after collapsing shortly after the start of their Serie A match against Inter Milan on Sunday. Fiorentina put on their official X handle that the ACF Fiorentina and the Careggi University Hospital have announced that footballer Eduardo Bove, who was treated on the pitch following a loss of consciousness during the Fiorentina versus Inter match, is currently under sedation and is hospitalized in intensive care. It also added the Viola player arrived at the emergency department in stable hemodynamic conditions, and initial cardiological and neurological tests have ruled out acute damage to the central nervous system and the cardiorespiratory system. Bove will be re-evaluated in the next 24 hours. Play was halted at the stadium with the score at 0-0 to review a potential VAR check on a disallowed Lautaro Martinez goal when the 22-year-old suddenly collapsed in the 17th minute. Medical personnel rushed onto the pitch with both sets of players forming a ring around Bove, who arrived at the club on loan from AS Roma in August. After Bove was taken away in an ambulance, the referee asked the players to leave the pitch and return to the dressing room. A Serie A spokesperson said later that the match was suspended and would be postponed to a later date. Moving on to chess, China's defending world chess champion Ding Liren and challenger D. Gukesh of India played out another draw in Game 6 of the 2024 World Chess Championship to leave the players level at 3-3 on Sunday. The 6th game of the best of 14 match being played in Singapore's Resorts World Sentosa lasted 46 moves and included Ding taking 42 minutes and 42 seconds to make the 29th move of the game. Ding and Gukesh have each won a game with the 4 others drawn. The match continues with Game 7 tomorrow after a rest day today. Gukesh and defending champion Ding Liren will be aiming to break that deadlock after 3 consecutive draws when they square off in the 7th round of the championship, having stayed on equal footing for most part of this interesting showdown. Hailed as the favorite to win by many chess pundits, the 18-year-old Gukesh, who is the youngest ever to challenge this title, has not been able to really show his class and has often depended on the Chinese to play safe or make mistakes in decent positions. The two are currently locked at 3 points, like I said. It was an emotional night for the world of tennis as Novak Djokovic and Juan Martín del Potro were both in tears, with del Potro bidding goodbye to tennis in a farewell match in Argentina. Djokovic paid glowing tribute to the Argentine, who peaked at number 3 in the world rankings but was forced to deal with wrist and knee injuries for the most part of his career following his breakthrough 2019 US Open win. The 24-time Grand Slam champion Djokovic had earlier spoken about his new coaching partnership with Andy Murray and how he inspires him, and that he's sad to see his top retired tennis great Murray top players leave. Murray, of course, agreed to join Djokovic's team last month and will coach him at the Australian Open next year. Murray retired after this year's Olympics in Paris, where Djokovic won the gold medal. The two 37-year-olds, both former world number ones, played each other 36 times, with Djokovic winning 25 matches. This is what Djokovic had to say when he was asked about partnering with Andy Murray as his coach.
This year particularly has been incredible. I'm a bit sad as my top rivals have left. I'm almost out too, but I keep searching for motivation. Now I work with a new coach who's one of the biggest rivals I've ever had, Andy Murray. The new relationship inspires me to see if he still can do big things in our sport. The priority is still playing and winning a Grand Slam. I've played throughout this year without a coach, as I wanted to see if I need somebody next to me or not. The conclusion is yes, but I want a legend of this sport, as we don't have many people who have achieved multiple Grand Slams or world champions. It's interesting because Andy Murray has known me since I was very young. I think I played against him for the first time when I was 12 years old.
Well, it's time to wrap up this edition of the Game On, but before we go, the Netherlands' Sifan Hassan and Botswana's Letsile Tebogo were named World Athletes of the Year on Sunday after they both scooped multiple medals at the Paris Olympics. Hassan won the women's marathon in an Olympic record time of 2:22.55. She also claimed bronze medals in the 10,000 meters and 5,000 meter events. Tobago also made history in the French capital as he became the first African to win the Olympic men's 200 meter title and earned Botswana their first ever Olympic gold medal. He also set a national record of 9.86 seconds when he finished sixth in the 100 meter final before being part of Botswana's silver medal winning men's 4x400 team. That's it. Goodbye.
I never thought I'm going to win this one because it was like this year crazy. It's not only me, all the athletes are amazing. And that's why I didn't thought I'm going to win, you know. It's really grateful. I'm really grateful. It's like crazy years, and especially Paris Marathon and the finish line, the way you ask it. It's just incredible years. I'm so grateful for every year. And what can I say more?
It was a great year. That's how I can summarize it. And I'm grateful for the team that was around me. Thanks to my coach and my management.
Hello. If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if cyber crime takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
And you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days,